Hey everybody, Ron here, and it is August, which means it is Rpgaday month. As I mentioned before, I am participating, but I am participating in a different way. Instead of doing content every day, I'm going to do a few prompts every few days, and you'll see this uploaded on the channel and on my podcast. Not exactly sure how many I'm going to do every time I do this, but I will work through all 31 of the prompts. And the way Rpgaday works now is that you have 31 single word prompts. You can also roll modification dice. You can roll a d6 for who, what, when, where, why, and how. You can roll a d10 for a mood, or you can roll a d8 for a subject. So, day number 1, patron. And I rolled the dice, and the dice gave me a prompt of rule, like patron rule. And the thing is, as far as patron rules are concerned, there was some faction rules in 13th Age that I really liked. You had the different icons, and each character had a relationship with an icon, whether it was positive, negative, or neutral. I believe they have relationships with multiple icons. And that was really neat because it gave you this dynamic for the campaign where you could work in these different groups, patron groups, of course, because you have access to these these allies' resources and whatnot. And so those are some rules that I really like a lot. The icons rules in 13th Age, which basically for me is a form of patron, particularly if you have a positive relationship with the icon of 13th Age. So go look those up. They're fun, folks. Day number 2, prompt. Well, we are doing Rpgaday 2025, and that is what this is all about, prompts. But prompts are really good for helping with creativity because I'll be honest with you, I get writer's block a lot. And one of the great ways to break out of that is to pull out some charts, roll some dice, which have, those charts have prompts on them, and maybe, combining a couple of prompts together can really help me out. As a matter of fact, I think one of my most memorable prompts that I came up with when I was running a Bulldogs campaign, oh my goodness, 7-8 years ago, and I was running a campaign, Heart of the Fury, and I was a little bit stuck for like a direction based on what the characters were doing, and prompts led me to basically turning it into a whole big organization was infiltrated by the bad guys all along, and that change in direction for the campaign really amped up things and increased the stakes and made the game that much better. And it's one of my more memorable campaigns that I've run, particularly in the past decade or so. Day number 3, tavern. How many adventures or campaigns even started in a tavern? Plenty of mine have. When I think of tavern, I think of campaign starts. And not all of my campaigns started in a tavern. As a matter of fact, my last 2nd edition campaign, rolling into 3rd edition, started in a dungeon cell with a sneaky guy named Kevin who turned out to be a were-rat that helped the characters, helped the party escape, but then he tried to betray them, and they were not able to beat him, but they were able to get away from him. And then he became a recurring villain throughout the lower and mid levels of the game, where eventually he ended up getting more powers, working with the bad guys, and becoming partially undead as well. He was kind of fun. That was like 25 years ago. Day number 4, message. Plenty of adventures started with a mysterious message. They can be really great to start things off, particularly if you plant this secret message or this map on a character. I've done that before, and that's worked out pretty well. All right, we're going to go with prompt on day number 5, which is ancient. And the first thing I think of ancient is like creatures, beings of immense power. Of course, which leads me to think about dragons. I love dragons in fantasy. Silver dragons are my favorite from traditional D&D, but really, I love dragons. Dragons should never be pushovers in your game. Dragons should be important. They shouldn't be mindless animals. This is an opinion. I mean, if you want to have like basically animalistic dragons in your campaign, more power to you. But for me, the dragons are highly intelligent, obviously highly powerful, highly magical. Like they're the end boss, or they're at least some level of boss in the game. And the dragon's horde is something that should always like be a significant event in a party's adventures and exploration and everything like that. I think that those are non-controversial statements, but like that's what I think of when I think of the term ancient. And we're going to stop right there for now. I think 5 prompts are good. I'll come back at some point in time and do maybe the next 5 prompts. And until next time, see you later.